Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain.
Have a great day, everyone. This is the Instructor's Compass, and our topic for this moment is ethics, accountability versus responsibility. There is a very nice discussion in health ethics that caters to two terminologies that seem to be used interchangeably, but in the parlance of strict healthcare ethics, it is very different. These terms are, number 1, accountability, and number 2, responsibility. Again, accountability and responsibility. Inasmuch as this is the Instructor's Compass, the main duty of the presentation is to simplify the complications by letting our viewers and listeners understand these two terms in layperson's analogy. This is once again the Instructor's Compass, and your online instructor, Sir Noy Gonzaga Jr. is happy to share significant points of learning again. Let us start with responsibility. This is a terminology that deals with a task given to one person, yet the applicability of this task is transferable without the possibility of bearing the results of the transferred task. Let us give an example here. If you are a nurse and part of your work is to open the windows of the nursing station during the daybreak, and your schedule became crowded, yet you notice that a colleague of yours is actually having less work to do, you can delegate this task to your colleague or to another nurse. Now, whatever happened after the delegation, whether rain entered the window and caused the floor of the station to be flooded, or dirt to muddle the station, is not anymore meted on the nurse that delegated the task. This is responsibility in the healthcare setup. An acceptable delegation of work without retaining the answerability of the results of the action. Now, let us take up accountability. This is a terminology that deals with a task given to one person, yet the applicability of this task is non-transferable. However, if there was a transfer of tasks due to unavoidable reasons, the answerability remains with the person who transferred the task and not with the person receiving the task. Let us give an example also to this one. Now, example, you are a nurse that was assigned as a medication nurse for that shift. A medication nurse is a nurse that gives the medicine. If you felt very hungry and you delegated one medication to another nurse, should something went wrong in the giving of the medication, shall we say it was given to the wrong patient, the nurse you delegated the task is not answerable because medication assignment is an accountability and it cannot be delegated. Now, we have already deciphered the two terminologies. It should be clear by now that there are tasks in the unit that can be delegated and there are those that cannot be delegated. To put a pragmatic understanding to this, let us put it this way. All the specified and assigned tasks to a healthcare personnel on duty cannot be delegated if used in the stricter sense of the law. And those that are considered general tasks can be delegated. So, what are the tasks that cannot be delegated? Well, these are the specific job task assignment for the shift. So if you are the medication nurse, you should never delegate the giving of the medication, the recording of the medication, and the checking of the medication. On the other hand, what are the tasks that can be delegated? Well, in a certain station, there are works that are not specified to a certain staff member but needs to be done. Such work may include the floor sweeping of the day, the bulletin board updating staff of the day, and the cleaners of the day. If you noticed, these three examples do not really refer to a specific nursing function that is specified to a certain nurse. These are general tasks that should be divided among the workers on duty. Now, if the division happened and you were assigned a task, example, you are to update the bulletin board, and you suddenly have emergencies with your assigned patient, delegating the task, the general task of updating the bulletin board, will not mean accountability but only responsibility. So for now, I hope you can already decipher the differences between being accountable and being responsible. In accountability, you cannot delegate your duties. In responsibilities, you can delegate your duties. But don't get me wrong. Both our accountabilities and our responsibilities are important and should be complied if we want to be called responsible members of the healthcare society. What we are only pointing out here is time is not always lucrative in the healthcare profession. So there will be instances of prioritization or doing the more important tasks first and then doing the rest if time permits. Now, in the hierarchy of prioritization, accountability can never outrun responsibility. Okay, let me clarify that point. Accountability rather cannot be outrun by responsibility. So I stand corrected in that. It is accountability over responsibility and not the other way around. Remember, in healthcare accountability, you can go as far as being jailed or at least you can lose your professional license. But in errors pertaining to responsibility, it will only merit the most at suspension and the least at a reprimand. So ethically speaking, a healthcare personnel to be called efficient and effective should be responsible and at the same time accountable. Thank you for spending a piece of your time in listening and streaming this important point in the field of ethics in healthcare. Once again, this is the Instructor's Compass, and this is Nurse Noy Gonzaga sharing important points to exist intellectually in the healthcare and ethical society. Have a great day and have an ethical day, everyone.
Don't you be